Look, it's not a matter of if a cyber attack is going to happen, it's a matter of when. And when that day comes, a solid plan is pretty much the only thing standing between a calm, controlled response and just, well, total chaos. So today, yeah, we're going to build that plan.
Okay, picture this. You've just been breached. Your network is completely compromised. What do you do right now? Who's the first person you call? See, if you're hesitating even for a second, you're already way behind. A good incident response plan takes that moment of pure panic and turns it into a sharp, precise, almost automatic reaction.
And that's exactly why we're talking about this. Thinking of a cyber incident as some kind of maybe event, that's a huge mistake. It's gonna happen. It's an inevitability. So having a formal, well-practiced response plan, it isn't just a good idea. Nope. It is your business's absolute lifeline in this digital world.
All right, so what does a plan that actually works under pressure look like? What's the blueprint? Let's dive in and break down the anatomy of a really effective incident response plan.
Okay, at its heart, an incident response plan is a totally custom-built playbook. It's not some generic template you can just download. It has to be tailored to your organization's unique mission, its size, its structure, the whole shebang. And it's got to clearly spell out the resources, the step-by-step procedures, and, this is a big one, the management support to make it all actually work.
Think of these as the strategic pillars holding your whole plan up. I mean, of course you need a clear mission and goals, right? But check out that second point. Getting that sign-off from senior management is absolutely critical. You also have to figure out how you're going to measure success and map out a plan for how your response team is going to grow and get even better over time.
But listen, strategy by itself isn't going to save you when things go sideways. A great plan gets right down into the nitty-gritty details. We're talking about super detailed technical processes, step-by-step checklists, standardized forms, all of it. Because in a real crisis, the last thing you want is people guessing. You need them executing proven, repeatable steps, like clockwork.
Okay, but let's be real. A plan is just a bunch of paper, right? It's just a document. You need the right people to actually bring it to life. So let's talk about how you assemble your incident response dream team.
And this is such a critical question, mainly because there's no one-size-fits-all answer here. The perfect team for a small startup is going to look totally different from the team at some massive multinational corporation. It really all comes down to your specific needs, your size, and the resources you have to work with.
So first up, we've got the central team model. The easiest way to think about this, it's like having your own dedicated in-house cybersecurity fire department. This model is awesome for smaller organizations or companies where pretty much everyone is in the same building. It keeps all that expertise in one place and makes communication super fast and simple.
All right, next up is the virtual team. Now, this is a really common approach for companies that just can't justify having a full-time response squad on the payroll. So what happens is team members get pulled from their normal IT jobs whenever that alarm bell rings. It's definitely cost-effective, but, and this is a big but, it all depends on having fantastic cross-training and super clear rules for how to switch from day job to incident responder in a flash.
Then you've got the hybrid model, which is kind of the best of both worlds approach. The idea here is you put your most needed day-to-day response folks right inside your major business units. It's like having a medic in every single platoon. At the same time, you can keep the really specialized skills centralized or even have them on contract. It's all about being smart with where you put your people.
And finally, we have the coordinating team. This one's a little different. It's less about the person actually typing on the keyboard to fix the problem and more about being the central nervous system for the whole response. They give expert advice and make sure information is flowing smoothly between all the different teams, whether they're in different departments or different countries. They're the ultimate connectors, the information hub.
So when you strip it all away, it really comes down to this fundamental trade-off. Do you go all in on a centralized group of full-time experts, your central team, or do you go with a more distributed, part-time virtual team using the talent you've already got in-house? There's no right or wrong answer. It just completely depends on your situation.
And these right here are the big factors that are going to guide that decision. You got to look at the cost, right? What does your budget look like? Then, what about the skills you already have on your staff? Do you need somebody watching the monitors 24/7? And don't forget about employee morale. What happens when you pile incident response duties on top of someone's already full-time job? Yeah, these are the tough questions you really have to dig into.
Okay, so you've got a plan, you've picked a team model. We're not done yet. Now it's time to connect the dots. Because let me tell you, an incident response plan that just sits in a silo all by itself, that's a plan that is absolutely doomed to fail.
You have to think of incident response as the ultimate team sport. A major breach is not just an IT problem. It is a business problem through and through. It can touch literally every single part of your organization. We're talking legal, HR, finance, you name it. And your plan has to reflect that reality.
I mean, just look at this web of connections. Your response plan has to be plugged into your legal department to handle all the compliance stuff. It has to talk to HR, especially if you're dealing with a potential insider threat. It's got to be in lockstep with your business continuity team to, keep the business running. And it needs input from operations, from risk management, even from your outside contractors. These links aren't just nice to haves. They are absolutely essential.
And what's the one thing that holds all of this together? What's the thread that weaves through everything we've talked about? It's senior management support. And I can't stress this enough. This is not a suggestion. It is the absolute foundation of everything. If you don't have that buy-in from the top, for the money, the authority, the time, then even the most perfect, brilliantly written plan will just fall apart the second you're under real pressure.
Whew, okay, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's boil it all down to the most important takeaways, the things you can start working on today as you build or improve your own incident response plan.
All right, here it is. Your 4 keys to success. Number 1, you have got to get that management support. Number 2, create detailed, actionable plans. Don't just stick with high-level strategy. Number 3, pick the team model that actually fits your organization, not someone else's. And finally, number 4, train. And then train some more, and then train again, because a plan is totally worthless if your team can't execute it perfectly when the pressure is on.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. As you think about everything we've discussed, the detailed plan, having the right team, all those crucial connections across the company, you have to ask yourself and be honest, is my organization truly prepared for what we all know is coming? Because the time to figure that out is right now, not in that heart-stopping moment when the breach alert flashes on your screen.